Hey guys, so we got solid Leto and ATC in the house here. Action, toys, channel. Action, toys, channel. Solid, solid as a rock. That's why we say it. Solid, solid as a rock. Dude, see, hey, Leto from a solid, a solid, a toys. I'm painting tactical equipment. uh, Also, thank you all both for stopping by my stream. It was fun. It was a fun game. Yeah, no problem. I figured I had a few minutes there before got myself up and got dressed and all that. So figured it was um come in and say hi and what have you. Yeah, not only do we have Action Toys visit you this morning, but his wife decided to come in and say hi as well. That was pretty cool, albeit brief, but still pretty cool. Uh, yeah, so we got four people, so we'll probably still give. We got five now. Look at Dave Marks in the house. Dave Marks in the house. Yeah. I didn't get any kind of notification of your stream, Leto. Darn. Hello, all. Hey, Dave. Dave Marks in the house. Dave Marks in the house. uh, so yeah, it looks like we now have five people in here. That's cool. And as always, guys, I do of course appreciate any and all likes and shares and all that. So help get the word out a bit more. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now. That's cool. I know Flash plays that a bit. I know Flash has reported on that bit before that game. So, oh well, it was really early. One laugh out loud. I wanted to play it for a while since it was my first time. I hear that is a good one. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, it looks like. Oh, what's this now? Huh. Okay. Huh. So yeah. So anyways, um, so we got 4 or 5 people in here now. So hopefully some of our other friends will join us soon. As always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes. That does help with the algorithm. It also helps get more people in here to get the word out. So um, also, hi, Dave. So getting this out of the way now, and then I won't say a word. Say a word else about it. I'm down bad from that impeachment farce. I'm out there calling for everyone's impeachment. I'll impeach you, Mike. Why not? You can't really impeach me. I'm not president. Yeah, and you're right. It is a farce. You know, unfortunately for liberals, the Constitution is nothing more than toilet paper. Okay. I'm not going to say much more about it because I have some pretty strong words on the subject. Well, let's see. Solid Redfield Gaming is telling Leto that he'll be streaming on Friday. I'll be there then. And I think I subscribed to you, so I should hopefully get a notification too. Excuse me for a moment, guys, while I go off camera here for a quick sec. Woody. Oh, let's see. So like Bat Goat just came in. Bat Goat. Da 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 da. Bat Goat. Da 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 da. Bat Goat. Da 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 da. Bat Goat. Da 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 da. Bat Goat. Bat Goat. Bat Goat. Word to your mommy. Uh, I didn't watch the impeachment process thing. Um, I watched a little bit of it. I watched Bill Castor's opening statement as well as David Jones. Those were Trump's attorneys. Um, but even Alan Dershowitz was having an issue with Castor's opening statement. Not really getting to the point. So, but David Schoen really kind of hammered it home. But they still ended up. I'm going to get some canned peaches for tomorrow's session. What happened? Well, nothing really. They just voted on it, and the Senate voted to advance the impeachment, basically. But I still don't. I still don't. And apparently, I guess at least one of them did actually cross over to the other side because initially, when Rand Paul did that test vote last week, it was 55-45. Today, it was 56-44, and the six Republicans who voted that the impeachment was constitutional were Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Mitt Romney of Utah, Ben Sasse of Nebraska, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, and Susan Collins of um, Maine. Unfortunately, only Murkowski and Toomey are up for re-election in 2022, but Toomey has already said that he's going to be retiring. So that means that the Pennsylvania Senate seat will be up for grabs. And Murkowski, she'd actually been primaried out once before, back 2010. Joe Miller actually primaried her out back then. So, but anyways, all that being said, and for basically almost everybody's here now. We have like 8 people here now. So hey, Woody. So let's move on from the political BS. Um, I had no interest in watching it. Um, Listening with Nick helps take out some of the sting. Hey, Bat Goat. Hey, Bat Goat. Hey, Woody. What would he do back in '62? Driving fancy cars, drinking in the bars, playing all the games, picking up the dames. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Canned in April is better. Well, I guess you meant to say pineapple, I guess. Um, Better, Woody. Hey, Leto, Toys, Dave, Woody. Pineapple, yep. Hey, Bat Goat. 8 people strong. Yeah, we got we got off pretty fast here. So I welcome everybody, including any new people that are joining us right now. As always, I do appreciate any likes and hey Abbott, who's that? Maybe I need to go over to the because I don't see an Abbott on the StreamYard screen. So let's see. And apparently I don't see him on. But yeah, so anyways, so now that we have everybody in, Abbott and Costello, laugh out. Hey, Abbott, laugh out loud. Abbott and Costello. Oh, okay, I get it. And then the old comedy duo. Who's on first, all that. Solid. Laugh out loud. All right. Well, anyways, we're like 11 minutes into it. We got 8 people in here. So let me tell you what's on tap for tonight. We do have 6 stories. They're all pretty much from the comic side of things. A couple of them do have tie-ins to like cartoons, as it were. So here are the list of stories that we're gonna. Here are the list of topics we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about, I guess, Transformers Beast Wars. There was an article in regards to something about the Megatron from the Beast Wars. On the Beast Wars. From the Beast Wars cartoon. I guess there was an article on Megatron's real name that they're going to talk about in the article. Um, and I see some. Hello, everyone. Hey, ATC's wife. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope everybody. Let's make Mrs. ATC feel welcome. Hope you enjoy the content as we're about to. Hey, wife. I need a sandwich. Hopefully, you enjoy the content. Yeah. Hello, Mrs. Action. Let's see. Speaking of what's on tap, I'm gonna open a beer. Okay. Uh, hey, at the Action Toys channel's wife. Um, Saw a thing that John Cena posted about My Hero Academia. I don't care for the anime, but the fact John Cena knows about any anime is freaking cool. Yeah, I think there are some of the WWE stars that do actually watch some anime. You know, then even I know Flash and Tug have talked about how anime has been becoming more mainstream. Hey, Lady Toys. Yeah, we got Lady Toys here. If you go to Nick's screen, you get Lady Racket. So Lady Toys, that's good. How about Leto thinks she's a lafty. Okay, so anyways, further on with what we're going to be covering tonight. Also, there was a passing of an independent comics legend. Um, and I'll talk more about that when we get to that article. Let me see. I think it's C. Shea Wilson, I believe is what his name. Yeah, or no, S. Clay Wilson. S. Clay Wilson, who was a pioneer in the independent comic scene of the '70s, as they were trying to get around the whole CCA. He passed away Sunday, I believe. Talk more about that when we get to that article. Also, a profile piece on kind of a DC versus Marvel Comics thing between two of their well-known speedsters, Flash versus Quicksilver, who would win in a fight between the two. Um, Todd McFarlane talks about inking for Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Um, Also, Keanu Reeves and the Berserker team have had a bit of a scheduling setback, as it were, and and just as we saw last week with Mega Man, apparently Invader Zim found a new life in comics after his cartoon was canceled. So let me get through some of these chats, and then we'll get to the little thing. Um, they only know about the most mainstream stuff, though. More than likely, well, okay, more than likely, because I had heard some of that too. Hello, Dave. Hello, Fat Goat. Hello, Leto. Flash, probably. Yep. So with all that being said, let me get this. Let me get this thing. All right. Okay. Hi, Lady Toys. Can you tell Toys He can sleep in the couch. Think you mean on the couch, but anyways, uh, so without no further ado, let's get this thing started. Let's see what else. Okay, Dave Martin's can't wait for the Zim bit. Yeah, I'll be more towards the end as I go through these in order. So, anyways, on to our first story here. On to our first story here. Transformers reveals the true name of Beast Wars Megatron. That's the first article we're going to look at here from Timothy Donahue from about a day ago. Um, in the new Transformers Beast Wars reboot of the 90s cartoon, the Predacon Commander's first moniker is finally revealed. Warning, the following contains mild spoilers for Transformers Beast Wars #1 by Eric Burnham, Josh. Oh, man. Wish they would tell us spoilers on the thing. Well, I'll just read it anyway. I know. Okay, so I know you guys have said you don't usually mind spoilers, so I'm gonna go ahead and just run with this because man. Okay, nah. When we argue, she sleeps. Oh, oof, dude, stop talking. Trust me, I have an ex-wife. Uh, um, Megatronstein. I don't think any of my mind spoilers. How about yes, I can Leto. He will probably ask for a sandwich first. Oh, line left. LMAO. Boil away. Okay, so I try not to do spoilers, but man, I hate it when they pull this. You read it, you don't see that it's a spoiler, and then the first thing they say, "Oh, this contains spoilers." Okay, so anyways, Megatron is one of the most feared names throughout the Transformers franchise, as well as one of the most iconic villains in all fiction. Known in his original incarnation for fighting Optimus Prime, being voiced by Frank Welker, and controversially transforming into a handgun, the Generation 1 Decepticon leader is what many people think of when they hear the name Megatron. Yes, Frank Welker not only did Megatron, but he also did a number of other voices, including in the Generation 1 cartoon, including Soundwave's cassettes, um, Trailblazer, and Mirage. So, anyways, however, the second most popular incarnation of the villain Megatron of Beast Wars, a descendant of the original Decepticon leader, this Predacon rogue who would transform into a dinosaur. And I believe, as I recall, the 90s Megatron was voiced by David Kay, who, of course, was the first voice of Sesshomaru on Inuyasha, as well as Professor X on X-Men Evolution. Um, this Predacon rogue sought to embark on a grand conspiracy that would change the fate of Transformers history. Unknown to some fans, his name wasn't always Megatron. Even more mysterious is what his original name was. In the new IDW Comics reboot of the 90s cartoon, the Predacon Commander's first moniker is finally mentioned, albeit possibly for the last time. My guess is they're doing an origin story on him. Um, to get us to how he was, how he became Megatron, I guess. Transformers Beast Wars #1 revised the show with a deliberately paced relaunch. Um, I don't intend to ask. The first issue of the new Beast Wars series retells a story that first brought the Maximals and Predacons to prehistoric Earth in the animated show's pilot. On Cybertron, the um, the Tripridacus Council is alerted to the terrorist actions of a vengeful Predacon. This Predacon has his crew of scoundrels not only commandeer the transwarp capable ship, but also steal the mysterious golden disc from the Maximal Science Council. When they inform the Predacon that his actions would be most devastating, he informs them that said actions have already occurred. People messing around with time, that's not necessarily a good thing. See if um, let's see. Hankin transformation is the best transformation. Um, he did Smurfs. Yay, Smurf. Yeah, Frank Welker was in a number of things. Probably the most famous role, of course, is Fred Jones and Scooby Doo. So Decepticons reformed as Dominion machines. Let's see. Did you guys know I like Smurfs? Well, I did. I think a lot of them do. I did not. John, just John. Sounds like a crew of scoundrels. Yar. So, anyways, as we continue on here, let's see. Oh, yeah. Before ending his transmission with them, the Predacon officially renames himself Megatron. While this was obvious to anyone with even a cursory knowledge of the franchise, it's the name that he briefly goes by beforehand that's new. Right before they're corrected as to his new name, the Tripridacus Council, whose designs combine the show's armor with the looks of the Combiner toys, um, referred to him by the original name of Galavar. While this name might seemingly come out of nowhere, it is eerily similar to the upgraded form of another Megatron, as in Galvatron. If you guys remember Transformers the movie back in the 1986 Transformers the movie, after their last fateful battle, Megatron was reformatted as Galvatron. In the movie, of course, he was voiced by Leonard Nimoy, but then when the third season of Transformers started up, Frank Welker took over the role from Leonard Nimoy. So, in the events of the Transformers, the movie, Megatron is mortally wounded in a battle to the death with Optimus Prime. The treacherous Starscream, voiced by the late Christopher Collins, aka Chris Latta, who also voiced Sparkplug Witwicky in the G1 cartoon, discards his body, which is found by the Chaos Bringer Unicron. In exchange for his forced loyalty, Unicron upgrades Megatron into the more powerful form of Galvatron. in which he, along with the reformatted other Seekers, Thundercracker and Skywarp, and the reformatted Insecticons as Cyclonus, Scourge, and the Sweeps, venture to Char, where Galvatron incinerates Starscream, and that would become a major point in the next, of course, in the next series. Um, while it was initially unclear who else knew of this update, a line from Triple Changer Astro Train in the cartoon's third season suggests that it had become common knowledge that Galvatron was simply Megatron reborn. And one of the other famous things from Transformers the movie, considering that this was a kids movie, um, sharpen thy cutlasses, me lads. There's skullduggery up ahead. X number 12. Eh? Gallivant? No, I think it was Galavar. Laugh out loud. But Galvatron was the upgrade. Galavar, huh? Could be worse. Doesn't he end up rusting out your sighting? I remember Unicron was voiced by someone famous, but the name escapes me. I don't think it was Nemo. No, in the movie, in Transformers the movie, Unicron was not voiced by Leonard Nimoy, Dave. Um, and you're right, he is a pretty well-known voice. It was Orson Welles who voiced Unicron in Transformers the movie. Orson Welles. Um, was it Brian Boitano? No, it wasn't Brian Boitano. It was Orson Welles. I don't think that's something Brian Boitano would do. It was Orson Welles who voiced Unicron. Oh wow. Um, Orson Welles voiced Unicron in 19. But the other little interesting factor that I wanted to point out here about Transformers the movie 1986 was, even though this was a movie that was supposed to be rated G and was actually made for kids, probably one of the most famous incidences in animated history happened in this movie. Spike with Wiki, who is, of course, now an adult, because, of course, Transformers the movie was set 20 years in the future from the original series. Um, and also the third season was. Spike Witwicky, who was voiced, of course, by Corey Burton, uttered the word shit in the movie. It's like there was a line and they missed it. This was a kids movie. And they let slip one of the characters going, "Oh shit." So, let's see. You go deep with South Park, huh? Cool. Um, I got the joke back out. Um, that was a funny episode, back out. um, the skater guy, right? Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, so that was another interesting little tidbit from Transformers the movie 1986, in which, yeah, Spike Witwicky, who was voiced by Corey Burton, who of course would go on to voice Brainiac in the DCAU Superman series, and thus for he uttered the phrase "oh shit" in a kids movie. So that was pretty big at the time. So, anyways, as we move on with the article here, um, ironically, the Beast Wars Beast Machines Megatron, despite getting several different bodies and forms, never upgraded into Galvatron. Um, Almost all subsequent versions of Megatron, however, from the Unicron trilogy of the 2000 era Robots in Disguise cartoon to even the live action movies, have all shown Megatron take on the new moniker. While the version in Transformers Prime did not officially become Galvatron, he did receive a more powerful form courtesy of Unicron, even having a similar crown like design around his head like Galvatron. In the Beast Wars cartoon, many of the characters named themselves upon arriving on prehistoric Earth and scanning new forms. For instance, Cheetor only took that name after receiving a cheetah as an alternate mode. The new comic book inverts this by having Megatron rename himself as such before receiving a new body or alternate mode. It's also worth noting that in Beast Wars Uprising comics, Megatron renames himself Gnash Teeth. Okay. Um, Ironically, this name would have been for better fitting for his T Rex alt mode than whatever his original form was. Though it may go against the grain for Transformers naming conventions. Megatron's rechristening in Beast Wars #1 signifies the first step in trying to rewrite history. So there you go. There's the first article. Get the second one set up here. We're going to try this. Let me see what. Well, first off, I got to go off camera for a quick sec. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Let's see if there's anything. Flamboyant skater guy, laugh out loud. I remember Beast Wars in the '90s and so impressed by the 3D back then. Yeah, that was some pretty interesting stuff. See, what about the Alt 4F mode? The rest was okay. I tried rewatching Beast Wars a few months back, season one. Did not hold up, in my opinion. Yeah, now it doesn't. hmm. With 35 minutes into this. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next article, then. Um, S. Clay Wilson, envelope pushing underground comics icon, passes away. Now, for those of you who, a little background information here. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, right? During the during the midst of the Comics Code Authority, they had actually started. There was actually a movement, much kind of similar to what's going on today with indie comics, of what they would call an underground comics movement. This was for some publishers to try to get around the CCA because I mentioned before with the CCA, the comics industry, rather than waiting for Congress to start censoring them, had decided to start censoring themselves. And so by the 60s, what they were doing was the only way that comics would get stocked in a lot of stores was if they had the CCA seal on them, the Comics Code Authority seal on them. And if they didn't have the seal, then they weren't getting stocked. So what would happen was there was this group of underground comic artists who would sell their, instead of selling it through mainstream, like they'd sell like a lot of the underground comics that were being sold at the time, and underground comic magazines that were being sold at the time, they were being sold in places like pot shops. And when I say pot shops, I mean pot shops. In other words, where you would go buy cannabis. Hence the underground aspect of it. So, well-written story, holds up across generations. Let's see. Season 1 of Beast Wars just felt chunky. Let's see. I'm thinking animation-wise. I can always forget 3D animation of the time. Love me some reboot, still do. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, now that I've given you kind of the backstory on the, I guess there's, let's see, Underground Press, San Francisco, Gort Shelton, creator of the fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. Okay, so I guess you would know a bit about what I'm talking about. Rip Off Press, my mistake. Reboot was good. Reboot is awesome. It's on Prime. Headshot. Yeah, that's the term I was looking for. Thank you, Dave. Headshots. That's what I knew there was a particular term for that, but I couldn't exactly remember what it was. But I'd read that before when I did my research on the Comics Code Authority. Headshots. That's where you would get a lot of those comics. And of course, they sold all kinds of like contraband there, like cannabis, marijuana. They should bring that show back, not a reboot, but a continuation. Yeah. So anyway, so on to this article now. Um, S. Clay Wilson, famed, provocative early pioneer of underground comics, has passed away at the age of 79. Steve Clay Wilson, best known as S. Clay Wilson, one of the early pioneers in the world of underground comics and one of the most provocative comic book artists of the 20th century, died on Sunday at the age of 79. Wilson is best known for his work on Comics, which led to Wilson's own series, The Checkered Demon, and helped contribute to multiple obscenity lawsuits and a landmark Supreme Court case that effectively destroyed underground comics as a major form of comic book media in the 1970s. Wilson was born in Nebraska in 1941. He was trained as a medic in the United States Army. Oh, so hey, Hey, Batgoat, another one of your brethren, huh? Except he was in the army. I think you were what in the air or in the navy or something like that. When he later recalled, which he later recalled, gave him access to all sorts of medicine that he and his friends would use recreationally. In the late 1960s, Wilson moved to San Francisco, where he saw the first issue of Zap Comics, an underground comic designed as a spotlight for the cartoonist Robert Crumb. Wilson had previously done some comic work for the poetry journal Grist, but he had no idea that there were were avenues for his work out there like Zap. Well, of course, it's not. They're an underground. They're an underground thing, so it's not like um, they're not going to be announcing it. You know, um, whole point is secrecy. Uh, but he had no idea. Okay, so we read that part. Wilson met with Charlie Plymouth, the original editor, original publisher of Zap, and Wilson was soon contributing to Zap from the second issue on. In Zap Comics #2, Wilson introduced his most famous creation, the Checkered Demon, a demon who would get into wild misadventures. Wilson's work was marked by its sheer lack of any sort of filter. He would later recall, you can draw anything you want. Reach down and grab some in the murky recesses of your psyche, the dark side of your subconscious, um, the last rotting grandfather self. I guess this is some of the artwork from Zap right here. I'll let you guys take a look at that. Why? Got to go off camera for a quick second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Let's see what you guys might be saying here. Like, there's a few things that have been said since I last checked all the comments. Let's see. Okay, they should bring. Okay, we already read that. I work at a hid shop. They don't have comics. Well, they probably don't anymore. Leto. They did back in the '70s. Heidi Ho Comics in Santa Monica is a famous comic shop. Got destroyed in the terrorist peace marches last summer. I remember buying all those. Yeah, actually, I think I did hear about. I did see that. I remember buying all those comics when they did a second run in 1980. See, the reboot was terrible. I didn't know there was a reboot. That's good, I guess. Um, stay away from it. It's half live action kids in a school, so dumb. Army medic. Hoo ha. Yeah. So yeah, a couple of army medics here now. Most reboots are crappy crapacular. Nice alliteration there. I have Zap comics. They're awesome. Dope and Dan was my favorite. A stoner version of Beetle Bailey. Uh, Piltdown Pig was a famous Zap comic. Okay, so as we continue on with the article here, Um, Wilson's work was a major influence not only on a generation of underground comics readers, but even on his peers. Crumb, for instance, later recalled seeing Wilson's work for the first time and thinking the content was something that I'd never seen before, anywhere. The level of mayhem, violence, dismemberment, naked women, loose body parts, huge, obscene sex organs, a nightmare vision of hell on earth, never so graphically illustrated before in the history of art. Suddenly, my own work seemed insipid. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine what the SJWs would be doing if they probably saw some of this stuff? Could you absolutely imagine what some of the SJWs would be doing if they saw some of this stuff that I just read as described? Eh, And let's see. Yep, I had it all: violence and boobies and bong rips. Okay, about loud. Ah, the problem for Wilson is that his work was so controversial that local communities kept trying to put Zap Comics out of business by charging the publishers with publishing pornography. Um, in the end, in a case involving Zap Comics number 4, which had a number of Wilson comic stories in it, the Supreme Court ruled in 1973 that local communities were allowed to determine what would be considered obscenity for themselves. Suddenly, almost all of the stores that sold underground comics were put out of business by local community groups, as these stories were primarily as these stories were primarily head. I guess it should say store as these stores were primarily head shops, um, stores that sold paraphernalia for marijuana smoking, um, and the underground comics market collapsed. Wilson kept plugging away, even trying to do his own Checker Demon series. Let's see. About they weren't big outside of Frisco and LA, is my guess. Well, yeah, I mean, from what I've been reading here and from what I understand, yeah, they would probably not have been big in places like Nebraska or, in parts of the heartland or the Midwest. You would have had probably a bunch of McCarthyists out there in force. Uh, since he was unwilling to tone his work down, he had limited sales success during the 1970s, but had better luck during the independent comic book boom of the 1980s that was based around the introduction of the direct market. Wilson was inducted into the Will Eisner Hall of Fame in 1992. And Will Eisner, I believe, was a comic book artist, I think in the 40s or 50s, one point. So, one of Wilson's last major works was a collection of non sanitized fairy tales, Wilson's Grimm in 1999. Wilson suffered major brain damage in 2008 by virtue of either a bad fall or being physically assaulted, and eventually began to suffer dementia from his brain injuries and was unable to draw or communicate in his final years of life. Wow, that's kind of a sad ending. One of Wilson's Zap Comics peers, Victor uh, Moscoso, um, described Wilson's legacy thusly: "He blew the doors off the church. Wilson is one of the major artists of our generation." Let's see what you guys see if you guys have added anything to that last. That got sad. Yeah, the dude passed away at age 79 here. Um, so yeah, but anyway, so that's that story. So and you guys found out a little bit more history, a little bit of comics history there. In that, so now we got to get to the next story here. This is the next one gonna cover here. I loved it. Great story. Yep. Pretty good story. What else? So we still got like four more to go. Well, we're already at the 53-minute mark too. So here's the next one here: The Flash versus Quicksilver. Which speedster won Marvel versus DC's fastest fight? So of course, the Flash representing DC, Quicksilver, Pietro Maximoff representing Marvel. So here we go. Flash and Quicksilver are two of the fastest heroes in comics. But one hero came out ahead when Wally West raced the Avenger in Marvel vs. DC. The epic crossover DC vs. Marvel saw several exciting battles between iconic heroes. In the 90s crossover, readers even got the chance to vote on several matches between their favorite Marvel and DC characters. And I believe we covered a little bit of that a few weeks ago. I think maybe last week when we were talking about the X-Men and them voting for that final member. Um, Out of all these fights, the most evenly matched battle appeared to be between Quicksilver and the Flash, the most prominent speedsters of their respective worlds. Now, mind you guys, Pietro Maximoff is not the only comic book character who went by the name Quicksilver. Quality Comics had a character named Quicksilver back in the 40s. Just a little heads up for you there. So, um, but this one, of course, we're talking about Marvel's Quicksilver, Pietro Maximoff. Um, this class of speedsters arrived in 1996's Marvel vs. DC #2 by Peter David, Claudio Castellini, Dan Jurgens, Paul Neary, and Joe Rubinstein. Some of those names should be familiar to you because we would see those names on and credited in like some of the Marvel Comics cartoons of the 90s, particularly Spider-Man, the animated series. Um, Quicksilver and the Flash came together when two cosmic entities known as the Brothers reunited after eons, with each representing either the Marvel or the DC universe. The entities decided that only one of their creations could survive. two entities couldn't battle each other, as the results would be catastrophic. As a result, the heroes from each universe would fight against each other um, during individual battles. The rules required one hero to immobilize another in order to win. Whichever universe won the most matches would survive, while the losing universe would be destroyed. Kind of like the theme from Dragon Ball Super, huh? And I guess here's a comic panel from that. You're fast, Quicksilver. I'll give you that. The Flash and Quicksilver were paired against each other for one rather brief fight that lasted a grand total of 3 pages. This frenzied fight began with the two speedsters racing through the streets, while the Flash boasted about how much faster he was than Quicksilver. The Scarlet Speedster also noted that they could have been friends, battering Pietro Maximoff while he spoke. Quicksilver didn't care about their possible friendship, since he just wanted his universe to live. During the fight, a giant oil truck came towards the speedsters, swerving and crashing into the street. In the resulting explosion, the Flash went out of his way to save the father and son who were inside of the truck. Quicksilver took this opportunity to ambush the Flash, pummeling him with a fury of blows. Immediately, however, Pietro felt guilty about taking such an easy shot. Quicksilver hesitated, thinking about how he was simply angry that someone else was faster than he was. In this time, the Flash recovered, taking the moment to immobilize Quicksilver and win the fight. While the Flash won this fight, it wasn't an outcome that was determined by the creators at Marvel and DC. Rather, the battle was determined by fan vote. Although the creative team could decide the specifics of how the fight went down, they couldn't change the eventual results. The method of determination left readers wondering who should have won the fight, with with no fan vote to make this decision. I guess here is some more of the panel from that particular comic story. See what you guys are saying here. And else, Quicksilver would probably just hit on the. I don't think he swung that way, but I could be wrong. Ultimately, even without a vote, the Flash probably should have taken this battle. For one thing, it's important to note that the Flash in this story was Wally West. At this point in history, Wally was reaching the peak of his speed. In 1993's The Flash number 79 by Mark Waid and Greg LaRocque, Wally finally pushed past his own psychological barrier, growing fast enough to defeat the Reverse Flash. Um, At this time, Wally had increased his connection to the Speed Force, increasing his power tremendously. In 1995's The Flash number 100 by Wade, Salvador LaRocca, Carlos Pacheco, and Oscar Jimenez, Wally traveled into the Speed Force itself, emerging faster than ever with new abilities such as granting temporary speed to others. All right, I gotta go off camera for a quick sec, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back now. Uh, okay, as we finish up the story here. Quicksilver, on the other hand, had no equivalent power source. At the time, Pietro was considered a mutant trained by Magneto to use his powers properly. Quicksilver had years of experience of fighting alongside the Avengers and living with the Inhumans. Still, Quicksilver didn't have a speedster mentor like Barry Allen to train him, and he certainly had nothing like the Speed Force to boost his power. During their fight, Quicksilver even admitted that he was slower than Wally, something that was not specifically determined by fan vote. Wally West may have won the fight due to fan voting, but the Flash probably would have emerged victorious anyways. So there you go. There's that story now. Okay, and nothing new comment wise. Well, okay, here's the next story we're going to look at. You know, all right, so there's nothing new there. Past the hour mark already. We're about halfway through the stories here, so that's good. Actually, I gotta go off camera one more time, guys. I'll be right back here. All right, then. So on to this next story then. Todd, okay, yeah. Todd McFarlane reveals how he helped ink Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. Bond creator Todd McFarlane um, revealed he did uncredited background work on Frank Miller's influential series Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Some artwork right there. Spawn creator Todd McFarlane, who made a splash illustrating three of the four parts of the Batman Year Two storyline in Detective Comics, revealed he also did uncredited work for Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. On Facebook, McFarlane posted an image of Wizard Magazine number 32, dated April 1994, and featuring a jam cover of Batman and Spawn drawn by himself and Frank Miller. McFarlane said the cover made me think of a story when I was an inker for Frank. Interested yet? Uh, Wonder why would you work uncredited? Well, maybe just to get the experience or at least get your work in there. Sometimes, sometimes if you're an unproven talent or something like that, maybe, you show them, hey, I can do the work, you know, like kind of a trial run. Anyway, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back again with the story here. McFarlane recounted that he was visiting a fellow comics artist whom he did not name when artist Klaus Janson showed up. Klaus came over and dropped a bunch of pages off to my friend who was helping out on the backgrounds of that miniseries. He told my pal that he needed the pages back in a couple of days. When Klaus left, uh, when Klaus left, my friend turned to me and said, "Hey Todd, can you help me ink these pages while you're here?" Well, I guess we're about to find out how he works uncredited there, Leto. I was thinking, are you kidding? I get to work on Frank's new Batman book? McFarlane continued. So that evening, I sat at a table and I tried to do my best impersonation of Colossy Jason, inking over Frank Miller. I still remember what I inked on those pages. Originally released as a four-part prestige format series in 1986, The Dark Knight Returns went on to become a seminal work in the DC universe, influencing Batman's depiction ever after in comics, film, and animation. Elements of it were even adapted for Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. So here we go. So there's that article. I think you got your question answered there. How does that work? Or why would he work? He got the opportunity to do so, and like he jumped at it. On to the next story then. And of course, here's something we've been talking a bit about. We looked at before. Keanu Reeves Berserker. So this next article Wow, as compared to last night, you guys got real quiet tonight. Uh, so it was just because his friend was lazy. Well, you could say that. You could say that, Leto, but you know, sometimes when stuff like that happens, well, it may not have even been a case of him being lazy. It may have just been they just dumped a whole bunch of work and not a lot of time, and he needed help doing it. That could be it too. But there's another famous story with a similar premise here. I'm sure if any of you have ever watched baseball at all, right? Sure you guys have heard of the name Lou Gehrig, right? And the streak and his streak, the Iron Horse Lou Gehrig before Cal Ripken Jr. broke that streak. Well, that streak started when New York first baseman Wally Pipp needed to come out of the game because he felt like he wasn't feeling well, and that led to the Iron Horse's streak. So anyways, let's see now. Immortal Keanu. Uh-huh. See, I'm fighting a chicken wing coma. Okay. Um. Now I talk. They don't. Yesterday I fell asleep and they were all talking. Hey, just got home. Going to eat some. Hey, Anon. Anonymity, 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 anonymity. Yeah, I understand, Dave. That was yes. That was me yesterday. Hey, Anon, enjoy the food and solid. Hey, Anon. So now we're back up to 8 people. Okay, so let's get into this next story then. Keanu Reeves' Berserker series suffers a scheduling setback. You guys know, of course, Keanu Reeves did a bit of Indiegogo getting his Berserker book up, and it's also being backed by Boom Studios. I think it's being published by Boom Studios. So the first issue of Boom Studios' Berserker, which Keanu Reeves co-created and co-wrote, is being pushed back to March. And there's the artwork right there. The first issue of Boom Studios' Berserker will debut later than intended. A new report from Bleeding Cool says that Boom Studios will now release Berserker #1 on March 3rd, 1 week from its intended release date of February 24th. Foil over issues will hit shelves on March 24th. The delay is due to high demands for the series, which led to a large number of copies being printed. So basically, it got pushed back because they had such a high demand. I guess, they needed to make more books or publish more books. Berserker, co-created by actor Keanu Reeves, follows the adventures of a mysterious immortal mercenary who undertakes black ops for the government. Reeves co-wrote the series with Matt Kindt and served as visual inspiration for the mercenary known as BA. A Kickstarter campaign was launched for the collected edition of the series and raised over $1 million during its run. Kickstarter, not Indiegogo. My mistake. To capitalize on the success of Berserker's Kickstarter campaign, Boom Studios also launched a series of variant covers for the first issue. The covers will be illustrated by a variety of artists, including Mark Brooks of Star Wars Han Solo and Dan Mora, Go Go Power Rangers. And I think Go Go Power Rangers is another book that was done by, in fact, this is all probably from Boom Studios now that I think about it. One of these covers by artist John Boy Myers, Spawn, even features a signature from Reeves himself. Yeah, I think we read that story. In fact, yeah, and then they talked, and we also read the story about Lee Bermejo's variant as well, which is also linked here. Written by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kent, illustrated by Ron Garney, Berserker #1 goes on sale on March 3rd from Boom Studios. So let's see what's going on now. Evening, everyone. Hey, Anon. We saw you come in earlier. Woohoo! Bong rips with Anon now. I'm awake. Um, Anonymity. um, about to smoke. Now back. Cool, cool. I left my bang in the garage and the water froze. Laugh out loud. It's glass, so I had to slowly de-thaw it so it didn't crack. Yeah, because we wouldn't want to see you smoking crack there, Bat Goat. Ha ha ha. Yeah, no crack for Bat Goat. No crack for anybody because that stuff will really burn you alive, right? From within. Anyways, all joking aside, hmm, uh, let's see now. I would let's see. Bye done. TSS. Oof. No mic, no crack. Yeah. No woman, no cry. Laugh out loud. Mic cracking jokes. Yeah. Uh, I smoked crack twice. It was not worth it. 10 minutes of excitability, and then down, 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 gravity. Down, down, down. He's dropping bombs. uh, keep me going down. Stupid person's drug. And then they tell you, yikes, never tried it. Okay, so, anyways, all joking aside, as previously said, let's get back to the stories. Actually, I think we're almost done with the main stories. We're at an hour and 20, and I think this is second to the last one. Dave, you're gonna be excited because I believe yep, the last story of the night was the one that you said was the one you were waiting on. Invader Zim: How the cult favorite cartoon found a second life in comics. Now, as I mentioned, we had a similar story last week about Mega Man comic. So let's see, laugh out loud. Um, I can't say I tried it, but stupid person's drug, you say. Um, write that down. I'm awake. Ha ha ha! I love Invader Zim. Leto. Um, Jonan Velasquez got his start in comics. It only makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this article now. Invader Zim, how the cult favorite cartoon found a second life in comics. Years after its premature cancellation, the fan favorite Nickelodeon series, Invader Zim, returned in the form of an Omni Press comic book series. When it comes to cult classic cartoons, you'd be hard pressed to find one quite as beloved as Invader Zim. Despite being canceled by Nickelodeon after less than 2 seasons, the show has maintained a sizable fan base, many of whom spent years calling for it to return in some form or fashion. After 4 whole years before the feature film Invader Zim Enter the Florpus hit Netflix, fans got their wish in the form of Omnipress comic book series. And I'll be right back because I gotta go off camera for a quick sec. I'll be right back, guys. Let's see. Okay. So what you guys have said here in the last. Let's see. Oh, okay. So that I remember Invader Zim back in the day, but that twisted sense of humor. I love the episode where they were turning into baloney. Um, it would not fly on modern cartoon programming. I was just about to say, Leto. They did come out with a movie recently. I haven't watched it though. Before Rick turned himself into a pickle, Zim and Dib turned into sausages. Pastulo, ha ha ha, you frolicking dirt child, look into my friend's eyes. Okay, so as we continue here, created by Johan Vasquez, Invader Zim originally premiered on Nickelodeon on March 30th, 2001. The show was a massive hit, gaining notoriety and in some cases infamy um, for its bizarre tone, manic style of humor, and outwardly macabre elements. The show's first season ran for a total of 20 episodes, many of which aired out of order. The last to hit Nickelodeon were episodes 16A and 16B, which premiered on July 12th, 2002, and September 28th, 2002, respectively. Oh, let's see. Oh, wait. Is that? Oh, wait. Maybe more. Yeah, there was more. Sorry. Kind of lost track there for a moment. Um, 1 year prior, in August 2001, Nickelodeon renewed Invader Zim for a second season, which would also be 20 episodes long. However, in January 2002, the network decided to cancel the series, citing flagging ratings among its target demographic. Only 7 episodes of season 2 were completed, with the rest being left either unfinished or unproduced entirely. The 7th episode of season 2, the most horrible Xmas ever, aired on December 10th, 2002. The remaining 6 did not see the light of day until being released on DVD in 2004, finally aired on television in 2006, thanks to Nickelodeon's sister channel, Nicktoons Network. Nickelodeon! Yeah. Following the show's premature cancellation, fans were left wanting more Zim, especially considering the fact that numerous episode concepts were left on the cutting room floor. What's more, the eponymous alien's quest to conquer Earth was left unresolved, though Vasquez joked in a 2004 interview with IGN that his plan was for Zim to give up his aspirations of conquest and become a public legal defender. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so so I wanted first to invade the planet and rule it, but now I want to be a public defender and defend crops. That's an interesting jump. Um, let's see. Okay, as the animator was very inspired by Ben Affleck's powerful courtroom scenes in Daredevil. It's a Marvel movie. Kidding aside, the adventures of Zim and his robot companion GIR finally got a continuation over a decade later in the form of a new Invader Zim comic book series, courtesy of Oni Press, of Scott Pilgrim and Stumptown fame. This was the fitting next step for the franchise, seeing as how Vasquez got his start in indie comics, having risen to prominence in the 90s thanks to his 7-issue series, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. That's an interesting comic. Let's see now. Let's see here. See. Right before Rick turn. Okay. Um, I have the series on DVD with auto commentary. I'm surprised Toonami never aired Raildex. I don't even know what Raildex is. Um, Room with a Moose, GS2, Career Day. My tallest, my tallest, my tallest, my tallest. Ha 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 ha. Um, the voice of Gurr was actually also their audio engineer and musician. The dude held a lot of yes, some of them do. And you know, Gurr, GIR equals Grr. Okay. Well, since it was all caps, I just figured that maybe it was more initial than actual announcement. But if you thought Zim could get macabre, that's all Johnny was. So dark. Okay, all right. Two full bowls on the Mr. Legit glass. We're good. Hello, Minecraft. Oops, I late. Sorry you're late, man. You missed out on most of the story. We're on the last story of the night. But thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us. Everybody say hi to Minecrafter boy. Hi, Minecrafter. Howdy, Minecrafter. I was in online class. Hmm. Hey, Minecrafter boy. Hello there. What class is it? Bruh. Minnesota Legit. Local glass company getting big. So I get quality glass for cheap. It's all right. Usually I'm always late. Well, not always. On Mondays and Tuesdays, you've been pretty here on pretty early on time. Hey, good evening, mine. All right. So, anyways, as we get back to this story here. Oh wait. Oh, actually, looks like I'm in Mongolia. Ah, okay. The Far East. I'm glad you're here, Minecrafter, from all the way from Mongolia. So I'm guessing then, if I understand it, I think Japan is about 16 hours. So would that be like 15 hours away? So what is it there about 11:30 in the morning? If I had to guess, 10:30 or 11:30 in the morning there, Minecrafter. Oh wow, very cool. Oh, oh mess. Thanks. Wow, Mike. Wow, Mike is international. Well, if Geld would come on a bit every now and again, I'd still be international. But I would of course also like to see Aramine on here too. But right. But anyways, back to the article here. Um, I'm always confused when people say how much they miss Invader Zim because the show never stopped running in my head. And then I remember everyone else isn't in my head. Interesting note there. Vasquez said when the comic was announced in February 2015, I tried to imagine the world for all those people who don't know what Zim's been up to since the show went off the air, and it makes me shudder. How can people live that way? Sounds like the guy's a bit full of himself. uh, Press Invader Zim debuted on May 23rd, 2015, with issue number 0 and began running on a monthly basis. Vasquez himself wrote and co-wrote multiple issues with other writers, including Eric Trueheart and Sam Logan. Among many others, numerous artists have also worked on the series, such as Aaron Alexovich, David Crossland, and Warren Wukunik. A few creators pulled double duty by both writing and illustrating certain issues, such as Sarah Anderson, Sarah Grayley, and Casey Green. Even Ricky Simmons, Gurr's original voice actor, got in on the fun, co-writing and coloring issue number 0, as well as coloring issue number 3. On August 16th, 2019, 1 month after the release of Invader Zim number 45, the long-awaited animated movie Invader Zim Enter the Florpus premiered on Netflix. While the film is fantastic in its own right and has an original story to tell, it actually borrows quite a bit from the Omnipress series, such as an updated character design. The film implements other ideas introduced in the comics as well. Um, some subtle, like the in-universe TV show Flopsy Bloops Schmoopsy, and some overt, like the space prison Muping 10. The comic book series returned for issue number 46 a little over a week after Into the Floorfest debut. Oni Press Invader Zim um, officially concluded with issue number 15 on March 18th, 2020. Not long after, however, the publisher launched a new Invader Zim quarterly series, which released its first issue the following June. As of writing, the title is still ongoing, with issue number 4 set to arrive next month on March 17th. On top of that, while all 10 main collected editions of Invader Zim have already released, there are still a few themed collections arriving later this year as well, um, starting with the Best of Girth showcase on March 2nd. Invader Zim was an iconic show that was canceled well before its time. But by returning to its roots, the show creator was able to keep Zim's delightfully horrible antics alive in comic book form. Even better, it's almost all completely original material, with only a select few issues, namely Invader Zim number 8 and Invader Zim Quarterly number 1, being directly based on unproduced season 2 episodes. The best part is not quite done yet. And if you love Into the Florpus, these comics are more than worth your time. Oh, there you go. That's the last main story of the night, guys. Let's see now. Well, I'll swear once in a while back. So let's see. Tuesday. Got him. It's Tuesday night for me. That is something Vasquez would say. And here Wednesday, yeah, because if you're in Mongolia, it's already Wednesday morning. I'm thinking it was probably 10, maybe 10:30. You're down there. I saw Gelth a few weeks ago. He seems all right. Showed a pic of new kitty. He got a companion care. Hopefully he'll be cool moving forward. 12:34 p.m. February 10th. Okay, so yeah, so then you're okay. So in Mongolia, it's 16 hours as well. Okay, I know in Japan it's 16 hours time difference. Mike did swear, didn't he? Tee hee. You called it Leto. You got the point. Well, yeah, I did swear earlier in the stream backgoat. I sweared when I swear basically quoting a line from the Transformers movie. When we're talking about the Transformers, and I was talking about the 1986 movie, I quoted the line that Spike Witwicky said that was controversial at the time because Transformers was seen as a kids' movie, and yet they had one of the characters actually swearing it, you know. And I quoted the line. The line was, "Oh shit." That was when Spike and Bumblebee, I think, were being pursued by Unicron. You know, um, but I was quoting a line there. So, whoa. Um, he is a bit. It might be an act because his coworkers seem to really enjoy his company. Yeah, in the future, we're across international date line. We're big time. Everybody shout! Come on, let's hang out. It's time for the groovies get together. You're gonna see how funny they can be when it's time for the groovy ghoulie show. Do. Joking aside, it's good to have you here, Minecrafter. Yep, it's good to have all of you here. I really do enjoy it when you guys come in and join me on this stuff. Updated, that usually means correct, Anon. I have Netflix only so I can sleep stuff out loud. Just kidding. I've told you guys, Netflix has a ton of cartoons, so I'm keeping it no matter their politics. Somebody touches my spaghetti. Hmm. Oh, Cheney's here. Man, you guys are really getting going now in the conversation. Best of Gurr. That's gonna have the Doom song in it, undoubtedly. Watches Mike do about us. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I think sometimes, sometimes kind of fun. Sometimes, especially when you're a little bit overweight and you sit for a long time. Sometimes you start getting aches and little stretch aches here and there that just don't feel comfortable. So you sometimes have to deal with them. Laugh out loud, Minecrafter. Does that mean it's Nietzsche history time? We'll probably get there at some point. Um, well, we're at hour 44 already. Minecrafter dropping bombs. um, that Joe Lawyer on Nick last night was good. Dropping Nema bombs. All right, Mike, did you hear that Funimation is facing class action lawsuit from some disabilities group? I can't help but laugh a little. Actually, I did hear about that because I know Hiro Hay actually did a story on that. Hiro Hay did a video on that. I saw that video. So what apparently is happening is um, the plaintiff, I guess, is either blind or visually impaired, and so she is suing Funimation for basically not making the website as easily accessible to her. Something. Let's see. Um, something about audio. I don't know the basically general idea is that companies are supposed to make the products accessible to disabled people, and with the ADA they're supposed to um, make the proper accommodations. Well, apparently, um, whatever technology is needed to help people who are either visually impaired or blind be able to access their website, they do not have. So what she's seeking, she's seeking damages. She's also seeking she's also asking them to basically fix their website and put that 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 whatever that technology is. Basically, yeah, Hero Hay did a story on it. I think was a day or two ago. I saw that story. It's okay, Mike. We'll allow the swearing. Uh, he did it again. Oh, at next time, can you rap to the HU? I don't even know what that means. What did Data say in Undiscovered Country as the Enterprise was crashing? I have no idea because I never watched. I didn't watch the TNG movies. I've seen the series, but hey, Cheney's in the house. That's it. Demonetized, canceled. No more commerce. Well, I'm not monetized anyways, Dave. Hello, Cheney. I'm not monetized anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, what is that? 007? What exactly is that, anyways? I don't even know what that is. Hey, hello, Cheney. Everybody, let's make Cheney feel welcome. Hey, Cheney, what's up, man? Let's see. I got rid of Netflix for Hulu. Um, when Netflix got rid of Futurama, I love that D show. Well, the first 5 seasons of it. Who is Gelf? Gelf Walker. He's another guy that we know from Tugstream. Um he's also subscribed to my channel, but he hasn't been on in quite like he's only been on I think 1 or 2 live streams of mine. One of them was the trial stream back before I even started the Mikestand, and I think he was on one of the earlier Mikestands, but he hasn't been back since. He's usually on. Wow, we're up to 9 people now. Can we get up to 10 tonight? Woo, we're close to double digits, guys. I hope you guys are helping me out by sharing the stream and getting the word out. Maybe we'll get lucky and we will get 10 people here tonight. That's cool. If you guys can like and share the stream, that would be really appreciated. So, anyways, let's continue on with the comments here. What if Half-Life full comic was made? '07 salute. Oh, does '07 mean salute? Is that what that means, Dave? I look good logic. Um, he seems like a good guy. Yeah, so let's see now. Anon, that's why I didn't renew my Netflix because they took away Futurama. Um, I've had Netflix since they went streaming, I think '09. Had everything until those uppity little Hulu pricks came along. It's been sad watching Netflix lose all these great shows. It's fine, Mike. Netflix has had He-Man original twice. They took it away, and then It came back. Laugh out loud. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go off camera real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back again. Let's see if I can figure out exactly where we left off here. Oh, yeah. So that's, I think, where we left off. So let's see. Every D entertainment platform has their own channels now. Shows got split between so many. It's kind of funny because the way television is nowadays, and now you guys are even saying that the streaming services are kind of reminds me of the Bruce Springsteen song, I think, of the early 90s. 57 channels and there's nothing on. 57 channels and there's nothing on. So here, let's see now. Burning horses, dried poop is good weapon to avoid kernel. Okay. Probably didn't need the imagery there, Minecrafter, but hey, Minecraft, you don't. Uh, he said, "Oh, mess." At Minecraft, we'd still be waiting on Half-Life 3. Um, the HU Music Band. Um, I was going to type being. Yeah, why Half-Life? Alex created. Um, it's like a UWU thing, whatever that means. Um, For the longest, I thought Gelth and Batgoat were the same person. No, Gelth is from Australia. Gelth is from Australia. He was on again. He was on Tug's stream quite a bit. Leto. That's how we. That's where we know him from. Valve can't count to three. Laugh out loud. Sorry, Solid. I didn't see you ask that. He's a bud of ours from Tugstream. And it looks like we are just about. Maybe not. Wow, look at all this. You guys are really hit. No, laugh out loud. Gelf is an Aussie. Oh, oh, oh. Uh, Good Logic is the lawyer guy, Joe. We subbed to him last night. Crazy chat. Um, hey, Best Boy, it's been a while, man. Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. I'm here, guys. Hey, everybody, say hello to Best Boy. Best Boy Accelerator. Yeah, salute. It's the little guy doing a salute. 0 is the head, and 7 is the arm. Big boss. Okay. Um. Oh, hey, Best Boy. Hey, Best Boy. Good to see you. Oh, I see. Evening, Best Boy. Now we're getting up in the higher singles now, guys. Hopefully, like Cheney, Best Boy, Minecrafter, you guys will be around more often, especially Fridays, because of course this Friday Batgoat will be on with me as we will be going through December of 1936 and our continuing look back at comics history, doing the historical retrospect. Salute, love that. The Oh salute, how about that? I never knew that. Just knew it was some leady thingy. Um, Always seemed to be a good thing. Uh, Mike, you are always international with the. Actually, Best Boy makes a point there because actually, yeah, Best Boy kind of makes a point there because with ATC being up in Canada, um, I was already international even before we found out about Minecrafter. So he does make a point there. Makes a very interesting point. Um, this is how the left salute. I can't even see what exact. Oh! I think I understand now. Um, Has something to do with the Nazi symbol, maybe. Um, Guys, what books you ever read? That's true, Best Boy. Laugh out loud, Leto. Leto, laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Let's see. It didn't let me add. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, my English not very good, and I don't know even no salute, bro. We salute, left salute, salute. What the military do when the boss is around. Where is cool, bro? Present wrist. View count dropping. Hurry back, Mike. Yeah, I'm here. Um. Oh, okay, okay. I have a very crisp salute. I was good at dog and pony shows. Go Navy. Have a lot for real and real though. I was laid up in the hospital overnight a week ago. 190 channels and only 2 with something worth watching. Okay. Uh, okay. Fornicate under cardinal knowledge. Uh, they made me ring the bell once for a chief's retirement. Um, once. If any of you have seen Navy Pomp and Circumstance, you know what a quarterdeck is. It was cool but scary. I didn't want to mess up. Um, Uwu is a cute anime face. The face they make when they say "woo." Okay. And owl is more of an open-eyed version. Okay. Yeah, Fridays we see Bat Goat with his beard jam. Yep. Yeah, Owo expresses some surprise. Cool, thanks, Dave. Oh, right. But toys makes better American than some Americans. We're up to 9 people again. Woohoo! My entire life has led to explaining internet weeb terminology. Uh, hmm, let's see. I think magic is quantum physics. Nice. I'm so happy I reached 300 subs. Yeah, I'm just barely over 100 right now, Minecrafter. Congrats, Minecrafter. Yes, congrats. Nice, Minecrafter. I'll sub to you. Thanks for all, guys. Fornicate under carnal knowledge. Mike, my mind is blown. What, that I actually knew the full expression there, Leto? Sometimes using the more proper term or using the full term is probably better than saying the outright later, dude. How about that? Oh, thanks, Leto. Minecrafter's channel, if you guys want to sub. Um, thank you so much. God bless you all. Am I caught up or I'm not even believed? Hurst. No problem. Okay, so it looks like I'm caught up on all the chats. That's good. We're just over the 2 hour mark too. So, say no problem. Okay. All right, guys. Well, there's like some more. You guys are a lively crew tonight. Laugh out loud. Nietzsche, man, Nietzsche. Yeah, I'd say it's about that time. We might need to go straight to Nietzsche stuff now. That's what I'm trying to do, but everybody's still talking history. So, is everybody ready for this day in Nietzsche history? I know a couple of you've already said it. Are you guys all ready for this day in Nietzsche history? Okay, so let's see here. Okay, now. Yeah, we already said that. So I saw that. Man, yeah. Nietzsche King. Ready, Nietzsche it up. Yay, history. Mike rubbing his hands like That's a gold. Hey, you're just picking me apart, aren't you there, Leto? Bequeath us. Okay. So let's see. Let me just do quick review for my own purposes here. 1951, 1981, and 2006. Okay. So without no further ado, today being today being Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. Yes. Let's take a look back on this date in Nietzsche history. First stop we're going to make is we're going to go back 70 years ago today. On this date in 1951, DC Comics would release on the newsstands the 115th issue of Star Spangled Comics. It is more towards the end of the Golden Age. At this point in time, Star Spangled Comics, which was an anthology, which basically was a adventure anthology, would include the features Tomahawk, who was based in during the colonial period of America. Also, Robin had his solo adventures for a few issues in this book. So, on this date in 1951, 70 years ago today, the 115th issue of Star Spangled Comics went on sale on this date in 1951. So much of I wonder why polar bears are extinct. Look at comic cover. Uh, I'm got a Onibone class. Okay. All right. So, anyways, now with that being said, now let's check out the next piece in each history, which we're going to head 30 years in the future from the point where we just were. Go back 40 years from today. On this day in 1981, the late Jay Youngblood would defeat the late Buddy Rose for the NWA Vancouver version of the NWA Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1981, 40 years ago today, Jay Youngblood would defeat Buddy Rose for the NWA Vancouver version of the NWA Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. Um, uh, got a Onibon class. Very nice with you guys. Well, hopefully we'll see you back more, Minecrafter boy. Later. Don't forget Friday we'll be looking at some comics history from the States here. So peace, Minecrafter. See you later. Oh yeah, headed to class again, dude. It's cool. Good luck with studies. You too, Minecrafter. Come back. Yep. So, anyways, so with that, as I said, on this date 40 years ago today, Jay Youngblood would defeat Buddy Rose for the NWA Vancouver version of the NWA Pacific Coast Heavyweight Championship. And the final piece in each history for tonight. On this date in 2006, the anime Papillion Rose, the new season, would debut on TVQ. The Made in Japan anime Papillion Rose, the new season would debut on this day. It would only last for 6 episodes. I think the full character's name is Lingerie Soldier Papillion Rose. So, but on this date in 2006, Papillion Rose, the new season would debut on TVQ in Japan. So, with all that being said, that is it for tonight, guys. I thank you all for being here. We had eight. We had eight. We had up to 9 people. We came very close to double digits. That's cool. I hope everybody will be back tomorrow night. I hope to see everybody every night as we look back as we look at the world of Nietzsche, see what's going on. We look back on some Nietzsche history, and don't forget Friday night. Backgoat as my co-host. We'll be looking at this Friday. We'll be looking at November of 1936, the comics that went on sale there. Um, and we'll continue our look back at how comics evolved over the years. So until tomorrow night, guys. Well, before I go, let's go ahead and get caught up on some final comments here. Great show, great chat. Peace all. See some of you over at Nick's. Yeah, he's going over, I guess, part 2 of the Trump team's defense deposition. Sounds like my kind of anime. Thanks for having us. Well, thank you guys for coming. I always enjoy having you here. Yeah, I'm going to Nick's, but we'll go to bed right after. Um, have a good one, everyone. Catch you on Nick's stream if you're there. How about Mike almost said, um, co-host. Yeah, it just goes to show you, even my mouth can get a little tired and twisted at times there, ATC. But anyways, guys, thank you guys again, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night and every night on the Mikestand. Bye.